but not Seth rich. Know too much, get left in the ditch. CIA scratches its Clinton's getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. Wiki leaking, now you're thrown into a ditch. You wish the simulation had glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. Know too much, get left in the ditch. CIA scratches its Clinton's getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. Wiki leaking, now you're thrown into a ditch. You wish the simulation had glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. Wiki leaking out, you dump into a ditch. You wish the simulation had a glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I got that big D energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. Bitch, wanna step to me. If you wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama. Yeah, I got that big D energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama.
No, Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
Transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
I whip that beat down like Michael Obama.
We already have it with
I got that
Obama.
big
So
energy.
let's just calm down.
Nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I whip that ass like Michael Obama. I'm a girl, 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 I'm a whip them thing out like Michael Obama. I got that big energy. Ain't nobody wanna step like me. And if you really wanna bring that.
Can you save us, Britney Spears? Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunnilinguist good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking. Good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunnilinguist good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking. Good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys.
Big up your Friday night. Welcome back to another episode of the Secret Society of Good Guys. If you're one of the first of the ones here, please hit the bell or the thumbs up or the like and subscribe or whatever the things, and everything helps the algorithm, even if you just write, "Hey Layla, you're looking nice in that white tank top," inside the comments. That'll push us higher into the algorithm. Even if you hit those hearts inside
Right.
YouTube, That helps too. So, hi, good guys.
Hit the thumb, ring the bell, twist the nipple, do all the things.
Lick the
Like it.
bean.
Like it.
What is new? What is new?
You know, I
What
was
is
just thinking that on one of those clips of Seth Rich, I swear his high school photo looks like Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap. I had to do a double take. I was like, why is Scott Bakula in this video all of a sudden? But it was Seth Rich, I guess.
I was just thinking how in our intro video and like doing all these things, how like our intro video is going to get turned up, but it will make me really sad to lose that scene of Olivia falling out of the chair. Like it makes me happy every single time. And I love it. Shout out to Olivia and Grey Pill Pod, Jules on Grey Pill Podcast. I like enjoy them both immensely. I just thought that was like such real time magic. I love that. If you fall, if you're my friend, if I care about you, if you fall, if you're not hurt, 100% of the time I'm laughing. Like it's just
Yeah.
I'm laughing.
It reminds me of this time when, oh my God, it was so bad. It was tragic almost. Like I can't believe like how she didn't like crack her neck. But I was probably maybe like 13 years old, and me and my friend, she lived in Ringwood, New Jersey, and it's like all like fucking woods. It's like wooded area in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. And we go up to these trails and we take the bikes, but I have the mountain bike and she has just like a trick bike, you know, where you do just tricks on it. It's like one of those sports bikes. So we decide to go up this hill because everybody likes to go up this ramp. It's like you just go up, up, up. And then we decided, like dumbasses, to go down that ramp with our bikes, but we didn't realize how steep it was. Like, so I reached the top and I'm just like looking down and I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually going to go down this thing. God protect me. I think I'm going to die. So I let go. I'm going down the hill. I'm fine. I make it to the bottom. I'm like, oh, that was fine, you know, but I didn't realize the type of bikes at the moment, you know. So she decides to go down. She's like, Layla, I don't know about this. I was like, I don't know either, but if you want to do it, do it. And she does it. She hits, I don't know what the fuck she hits, probably like a root of a tree that was sticking out of the ground. And I mean, she flies and drags her whole body and face down. And I start laughing because I didn't know what else to do out of panic. I'm like, are you okay, Nina? You know, are you okay? And she's like, not saying anything. I was like, oh my God, like, let me go and see if she's okay. Let me go and see if she's okay. And I go and see, I pick her up and like she snaps out of it. I know she had a concussion. I mean, everything scraped, like scraped off, like insane. But I had to laugh. And I still, after that, laughed so I can make her laugh and not worry too much about like what I see. She's like, I'm all right. Am I all right? I'm like, you're all right. You're just, you know, you're really scratched up. And it was just bad. But
Layla,
mean,
I
it
thought
lightens
this
up the
story was
mood.
going to have a funny ending.
It is funny. She fell and she scraped, and that's what happened. I was
I've been on the
laughing.
receiving end of that actually. When it was on Cinco de Mayo, and I think it was like my 15th or 16th birthday, and we were just getting all kinds of hammered for Cinco de
Mhm.
Mayo. And my friend had one of these old Cadillacs that had like a luggage rack on the back, like these little
Mhm.
metal bars, and you could just hold on to it. The worst idea ever. But we're on our skateboards, and we drove all the way up this like half-mile road, and he must have almost hit like 40 miles an hour, and I survived. It was miraculous. I actually survived this whole trek. And for some reason I wanted to tempt fate, and I was like, now bring me back and go even faster. And as soon as he must have hit like 41 miles per hour, my skateboard just started violently shooting like in front of me, behind me, in front of me, behind me. And then all of a sudden I just saw the skateboard in the air
Oof.
behind me, and I was like, oh, that's weird. It was under my feet. And then I felt something tickling my toe, and I looked down, and my whole shoe had unraveled, and there was like this line of blood from where my toe was
Oh
just
my
like.
God.
So I just immediately thought, okay, let go, and I let go of the freaking luggage bar. But we were going like 50 miles an hour, and I just tumbled. And when I stood up, and I was like, I'm okay, and everyone cheered. But then as they got close to me, they start freaking out because like your friend, like the whole entire side of my face, neck, shoulder, body, everything, like the skin was just gone. Like my pant, it looked like who was Tommy Lee Jones in Two-Face and Batman. Like the
Yeah,
whole middle of him
I'm
is
telling you,
completely
yep.
different. Like the right side of my body was just in tatters and blood, and like I couldn't go to school for like a month. It was actually kind of awesome.
Dude, it's insane. When she came home, everybody was like, "Oh my," like yelling at her. Like, I'm like, poor girl, like just fucking fell. And they're like, "Oh my God, if your father sees you, he's gonna kill you. Look what you did to your face. You're scarred forever. No one's
How
gonna want to
much trauma do
marry
you
you."
think we have from like injuring ourselves, but because our parents were scared themselves or too poor to go to the hospital, like we have no reason, like they 99% of the time when you got hurt, your parents didn't really get mad, but the emotion that some children have trauma from is that you anticipate, like, you're like, I'm not going to tell my parents I really hurt myself because I don't want to get in trouble. And so why
That
is
was me.
that like deep seated? Me too. Like there was time I
Mhm.
remember one time even like I injured myself so much and it's so silly. It's not even a huge injury, but I just think it says so much about the state of mind of me and my sister. Is I remember one time going to the grocery store and going grocery shopping and on the way home we were sitting in the back seat and I looked at her hand and she was like holding her hand weird the whole time. And she had like a
Mhm.
napkin in her hand like this because she had stuck a stapler through her finger. It's like not even a big deal. Like she could have just pulled
It
the
still
staple out,
hurts.
but she was, yeah, it was just a staple stuck in her finger that the whole time since she had been home from school, the whole grocery store, she had just went through hiding this staple in her hand. And it's just
Why?
like, yeah, that's the stuff kids do sometimes. It's like you're hurt that even still right now. One time I put a drill through my hand and I
Uh-huh.
needed to get my queasy wife to come into the garage and I needed her to hold this board still. I couldn't get the board in a vise to because I needed to undrill the screw from my hand. So it because it was such a big screw, if I just pulled it out, it was gonna harm me extra. And
Mhm.
so I was like, I'm like, Jules, I just need you to hold this board. I can't get it into the vise. Like it was like a whole, the board came out of the vise. So it wasn't even that I was trying to be unsafe or doing something goofy. It's just shit happens sometimes.
Yeah.
And I had to get her to come hold it. But I like walking in and I'm pouring and I'm like, hey, babe, I don't want you to be nervous and I don't want you to be like, everything's
Panic.
fine. Yeah, like I already
Don't
had to set
panic.
up all this stuff and I'm the one with a screw in my hand.
Yeah. Damn. Oof.
But yeah, I just
Shame.
think it's weird that it's that kind of trauma that we do to ourselves, though, that for some reason we feel like we're going to get in trouble like a little
I
kid.
would get in trouble for getting hurt. I
But
would. Like in
probably
our
because your
culture,
parents are like, we have to go to the hospital, like, like
no.
maybe or may not have money. And then they're actually frightened that you got hurt.
Yeah. So, and in their head, this is what they said to me. I don't know about anybody, other Albanian parents in my generation, but I know a handful like that experience the same thing that I have in Albanian culture. But like you'd fall and scrape your knee or something, and it's like they see it happen, and I guess they feel bad. So at the moment, they don't want you to think about the pain. So like they'll slap you in the face, like, "Pa, why'd you fucking do that? Next time," ba-da-da-da-da-da." And it's like, what the fuck? So you're confused. They're like, man, I just got hurt, but you're hurting me because I got hurt. Like I didn't mean to get hurt. But yeah, this is the trauma that we went through all the time, not just for one incident, many incidents.
I now look at everything like that. I mean, and shout out real quick, shout out to Abbie, you guys. If all of you want to go to any of Abbie's social media, whatever it is, and if you want to shout out to her and wish her, you don't even have to really wish her luck. You could just be excited and proud of her that she's going to be in the tournament because it's already done. But she's in her bodybuilding competition and the first one's tomorrow. So, yeah, you guys, whenever you catch this, or even if you're watching it Saturday morning with your coffee and your earphones while your kids are playing Legos, you can go over to Abbie's social media and just send love. That would be your only homework that we give you on Secret Society of Good Guys today.
Yes,
No,
Hill.
there's one more homework assignment, but I'll tell you at the end. But
And
that's
if she
the
forgets,
first.
don't you dare remind the teacher about homework.
Don't you dare. You'll like my homework. My always my end of the thing homework. Like if you love what we do here, because none of us are making money from this. It's just our expensive side hustle. But you actually give people things. So that was only going to be my second homework, is to always support paranoidamerican.com.
Okay, well, I'll allow that homework. Dude, I didn't do any homework at all from, I want to say, grade 10 through 12. Like not a single bit of homework.
I didn't either. I feel like something broke in my brain and I was just like, fuck this noise.
It's almost like how I feel about work. Like once the day's over, the day is over. You don't get me until the next morning. I'm not doing anything on my own time. Like I got things I got to do on my own time.
I'm not studying your protocol at my house. You can give me the protocol at your job and I'll learn it there.
Right.
I totally agree. I think that it's
This
like,
is your job, not my job to learn this shit.
yeah, it's your job to teach it to me. So I'm like, no, I'll do this. That's what I did like about marketing, is they would send us on like wild 3 days at a hotel that might bore you to tears, but at least it was all paid for work time that you're like, okay, I guess Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm at a Howard Johnson hanging out with a bunch of other dildo marketers instead of having to market. Okay.
It's
Free
doing
meal.
something productive. Sure, let's do it.
Yeah, sure. And then, oh, my numbers are going to be weird this week because of that 3 days we were off for okay. You're taking the pressure off me this week. Let's do this thing. Anyways, what else is going on in the world? I called the show the word I could never say. Chimera.
Oh,
Oh, Chimera.
Because
Chimera.
Chamaria.
did you guys see the dire wolf thing? The dire wolf situation?
The clone, or bringing it back from the dead, from extinction.
This came up the other night.
something like that.
Why aren't we just skipping right to dinosaurs? What's the point of starting with the dire? Like, let's just do the T-Rex right away. Let's go Jurassic Park.
I saw this and I thought you would laugh, though. This is just hours afterward, but I thought you guys would really love this. So after dire wolves are resurrected, Trump administration said U.S. endangered species list should just go extinct. Like, what are we doing? Like, we don't need to
Yeah.
resurrect and
Like, let nature run its course.
like
You
the
know,
creepy eye
I
on
guess.
that.
Well, wait, is he saying that all the animals on the endangered list should go extinct, or is he
Yeah.
saying that there's no such thing as endangered anymore because we can just pop one off the oven?
Oh, I think that's what he's saying.
Mm.
Get out of here.
You know, you make a good point. And why not T-Rex? Because in my mind, we know that I know that dinosaurs are not real. So if they are real, why did they go and why did they want to
Right? Why are they
do the whole
cloning
fucking wolf
something
thing?
that could be faked or that could be a little bit of
Do
a
a
show? Like
pterodactyl?
we know what wolves are, right? And a dire wolf and a wolf and all, like if they did a freaking pterodactyl, no one's gonna say, "Oh, that's just a hybrid." Like, come on, a hybrid of what? It's a freaking pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right, Thomas. They're excited.
Interesting.
They're like, the Department of Interior is excited about the potential of de-extinction technology and how it may serve broader purposes beyond the recovery of lost species, including strengthening biodiversity protection efforts and helping endangered or at-risk species.
And let's be
That's
honest.
why you can't
it's
read
gonna
the
be-
headline, everyone.
Well, it's going to be
You learned
elite
it here.
hunters. Like now, hunters are going to be like, "I want to kill a woolly mammoth," so then they just unleash a woolly mammoth for them. They clone them.
But then you're right. If we're going to big game hunt, is a woolly mammoth the most exciting thing we could hunt? Or are we going to go big or go home and go full T-Rex?
I mean,
let's
I
be
vote
real.
T-Rex.
I want to see T-Rex.
They can't T-Rex because
Yeah.
T-Rex aren't real.
That's
It's
what I'm
just the
saying.
skeleton of the dragon without its wings.
Well, then
which
let's
would be its
freaking
first
clone a
thing to
dragon. Then.
deteriorate. Yeah, that's when I'm with you. I think we clone the dragons. The
First
only thing that we're going to battle Hillary with her cloned Nimrod is going to be if we clone the dragons. That's the only shot we have. And somewhere there's a movie we're making, and it's dragons versus like technology. Like it's us flying in with our dragons versus whatever warships they have.
It was like Game of Thrones versus The Matrix.
Like aliens versus cowboys versus aliens, but dragons versus, I don't know, Tom Cruise and Top Gun. I don't know what the team would be that would go up against us, but something like that. This is a brainstorming session, everyone. Hit the like and subscribe to the 100 people that are watching. Thanks for being early here while we bullshit.
100 of y'all?
We always get excited because we haven't seen each other all week this week. So we all miss each other. So sometimes we just have to catch up. So thank you for being a part of our catch up.
Looking like a doll.
Yeah, they're the weird ones for like watching us hang out, no?
Yeah, you guys are the weirdos.
Yeah, but we're weird too, so
we
I
love
get it. You know, weird attracts weird.
Weirdos and witches. Oh my gosh. But so it's been tariff week. That's been like in the whole thing in the media. I don't know if there's been a ton of conspiracies this week.
Well, the conspiracy is that this was all market rigging and that everyone's getting, like, all the cronies are getting rich off of the sudden jumps and drops, and that if it were manufactured, then this would be a great way to get rich quick.
People were getting mad because they were saying like, oh, Trump and his friends, they're all making money, because Trump put out this post, which I actually think is like pretty funny, that he put out this post to everyone. This is a great time to buy, because they were trying to sink the markets because of the tariffs. But the media was trying to sink the markets because, you know, they hate anything that Donald Trump's always up to. So he put that out. And I was thinking about this like rock and a hard place idea is if tariffs are on one side, like let's say we're playing currency wars, which that's what I think we're doing. We're just playing energy wars. And so now let's say Trump says we're going to do these tariffs. And so China's like, oh, really, bitch? We're going to take all the liquidity out of your markets. And then Trump says the like stopping point of that, though, we're going to do a digital financial reserve to back the US dollar. So China can't drop all their cryptocurrency, because if they drop all of it, it lets the US go in at a bottom diamond floor. And so now I'm understanding the markets differently, that it's always been kind of country to country. Like how we always talk about like China bought all of our farmland. Who owns all of whose country's markets? And so then it's like only 9% of the of people on the planet trade in stocks. 9%. Only less than 1% trade in crypto. So the illusion of the ticker of any of these Wall Street things are like the same as the population counter, how many people had COVID last week. I just think it's such a curious, like, what's good.
And this is all tied to this post that I posted about Black Ops 2 and how that video game
On
is
X or on
surrounded by this exact
Where'd you post it?
on
Okay.
Instagram. Let me see which account, because I got my second one back, my first one back. It is on the God Pill Angel one, not the 33 one. And it's the third on the right. The guy with the hat and glasses.
Let me pause this.
This is the one with the
So
airport. This is the one with the
fascinating.
airport. Right?
Time travel. Time travel. I love Black Ops 2, Black Ops, Zombies, COD. Fucking love it. I love it so much.
And I wasn't trying to cut
I'm
you
so
off.
good
I'm
at it,
just trying
too.
to actually get better. I'll really pull up whatever you guys want to. It's less annoying for me now. It's more muscle memory.
Yeah. Noise. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Somebody who was in that room is a time traveler, and I am sure of that. If I were to tell you 13 years ago a game developer would predict the future, you'd probably call me crazy, right? But stay with me. You see, Black Ops 2 was released in November of 2012, and in every single Call of Duty game, there's a campaign. And in the campaign of Black Ops 2, China and the United States are in a Cold War. But why exactly did China and the United States get into a Cold War? As it says right here, it's because China stopped exporting rare earth elements, which is something that sounds ridiculously insane, like that would never happen. Only yesterday, that's what China did. You may be thinking, oh my gosh, this is a reach. It's a video game who said sometime in the future this would all happen. But it gets even crazier when you realize when Black Ops 2 was set. Because in this video game, it's not set in 2012. In fact, it is set in the year 2025, as in the year 2025 that we are in. Meaning that 13 years ago, the game development team that was building Black Ops 2 accurately predicted all of this down to the exact year that this is happening.
I always feel like I have to
Fucking
be the
wild.
skeptic in these ones, but I mean, China exporting rare earth minerals is actually one of their strategic exports, right? So if we were to get in any kind of a conflict, that's one of the first things they would do is they would cut us off from that particular natural resource, which we don't really make our own version of. So, I mean, the fact that they got it in 2025 exactly, that's interesting. But it isn't. It's not like he picked like 1 in a million chance of something that China would have done. That's always been like one of their first go-tos.
Shout out to Brandy Page. Can't wait for my IlluminatiComic.com. If you guys don't know, you should know. Thank you guys for hanging out for us to watch. Thank you
Yeah.
for throwing us currency. And sometimes I am such a stoner at this time of night and dumb that some of you guys, you hook us up and I don't pay the homage that I should. So thank you, Brandy. You're rad.
We got 350 out of 850 packages shipped so far. So we're about a third of the way through. If you're waiting, it's coming.
It's going to be good. It's going to be better than you think. How many?
Yeah, we're loading them up. But I hopefully people are surprised with how much stuff they actually end up getting because it's way more than what the page said.
How much? How many yacht club members do you have?
53.
For those of you that don't know, when Donut and Thomas ran this whole campaign, there was also a tier, like there was all different tiers you could get, and there was a yacht club tier, and it was like, like we'll make it unreachable, but we'll make it the coolest package in the world, and if anyone gets it, cool. They sold out. And I always just think it was the coolest name and like a clever idea to run with. Like,
it's so cool. It's gonna be like opening up like the coolest birthday / Christmas present ever because it's got so much, like it's literally packed all to the way to the very edges of these huge boxes.
oh well. Thank you, Brandy, and I can't wait to see everything in IlluminatiComic.com, and Thomas and Donut might have some extra stuff that was in it too. So maybe you'll be able to buy some of it a la carte later. Who knows? I'm not predicting the future. Some say I'm a witch. I don't want to scare anyone. Oh shit.
I say that I am now. Remember how I used to like not want to say it, and now I'm like, yes, I am. I love it.
Is it making a comeback? Because it was big in the 90s.
I think it is, especially in our Albanian community. Like today, I'm posting this because I want all the Albanian witches to come together and find each other. I'm like, and I'm looking in the comments. I was like, yes, bitches. Meaning like spiritual, loving earth, nature, herbs, cleansing, all that in that witchy sense. Not like I want to cast spells.
I'm waiting for the first AI witches to start making themselves be known because I know all about the earth like Wiccan witch stuff, but now witches are consulting ChatGPT, right?
Well, I mean, let's be real. You guys had the first digital mage on Secret Society of Good Guys. You've all met Summer.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great example.
Like
Yeah.
most of her magic is in digital form. She believes you need this part of it. Like, how could a witch of yesteryear use the elements of today? Like, we have all the elements of yesteryear, unless it went extinct of something, and then we have things of today. So, like, if a voodoo doll was powerful, because I could put intention into it, and then something would happen if I connected it to a person somehow, then what is a meme if all of us are seeing it all of a sudden or reposting it or doing this kind of so
Are
I don't
Well,
we
know.
making
I
frogs gay by posting memes about frogs being gay?
I
that
know. Did
too.
we create Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself?
But I recently tested this out and then I saw it on TikTok. But apparently, you can ask ChatGPT to read your coffee grounds and it will read your coffee grounds. And it tells you what each one means and symbolically it goes so deep. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then today I saw it like these Balkan women are like, oh, now you don't need to pay anyone to read your coffee cup. And I'm just like, what is the world coming to? Like, I would never in a million years think that a fucking device will be able to read your coffee cup. It's pretty accurate
One
too.
I wonder if you kept uploading the same picture, but like you flip it or you rotate it and you're like, all right, now what is it? Now what is it? If it would keep
Yeah,
giving you the same
it'll be different.
information.
Nah, I think it'll be
It'll be
different
different each
because
time,
it'll
right?
view it. Yeah,
Like
100%.
Rick's already out of the Illuminati. He told his secret name.
You're out.
You're out. That's awesome.
We're gonna have something too where you can go to a page and put your member number and your code name in, and you'll get something. That's all we're gonna say for now.
It's not stopping here. Remind me to show you this software that you can, you know how there's all this stuff right now that you can just pretty much, grok ChatGPT and you type it in, it gives you whatever image. They have a website builder now that is pretty blown away. Like how you could the same way you'd make an AI song, you keep tweaking it, you learn putting the word chorus in helps or putting the word, like you learn kind of what things to speak to it in. That's what this like website builder and what it's up to. And the stuff that normally the stuff you know how to do where you're like, I'm not pulling all those to drag them over there to make all those video links. You can just say, can you pull the entire Paranoid American off YouTube URLs and place it into my like you can ask it to do the thing and it just does the thing. It is wild. Like what the computer is up to and the snowball that's happening. The information that the military is releasing to us about technology is wild.
Well, what
There-
you're describing, it's a new trend now that's getting bigger and bigger called vibe coding. And it's basically people that either don't know how to code or don't want to code anymore. And you just, like you're talking about, you just describe what you want over and over again until it gets it right. And even if it doesn't work, you tell it, hey, here's what's wrong with it, make it work. And I was reading an article where some guy that was a doctor, never done code in his life, and he codes up some app in 72 hours and it's fully functional and everything. And he's using it to run his clinic, and he's just some doctor guy. So, and I've been doing this for the last year or two using AI. There's a program called Cursor. There's a whole bunch of them, but you can just start working on an idea and then just tell it, add this feature, make this happen. And as long as you are diligent with following through and making sure that it's doing the right things, you can totally make your own anything now. App, website, you can hack your car, you can do anything you want to.
It's pretty I was like, like everybody else where they're like, oh, all the artists are going to lose jobs. All the musicians are going to lose jobs. All the certain parts, yes, but it recreates all new jobs. It recreates, I realize like even where people are talking about like a digital mage, prompt master is a freaking skill. To be able to prompt this AI to actually get what you want out of it, not everyone can do it. I've seen some of your guys' art and it ain't great.
Well, some of the arguments
I'm
that I
not talking
heard
to you too.
before artists went all crazy and it became like this big anti-AI movement, but there was some rational people that used to be out there, and one of the better phrases that I heard him say is that artists will be safe because if you were to really try and replace an artist, like if you just want to like get rid of all of them in your company, you have to now effectively describe exactly what you want to AI, and most artists realize like the clients that they end up working with, they don't know what they want. And even if they knew what they wanted, they wouldn't be able to describe what they wanted. So removing the artist means you no longer have that babble fish. You don't have a person there to translate whatever weird non-standard terms you're using to describe stuff. For example, one of the thorn in the sides is that someone would always be like, "Oh, I love that, but can you make it pop more?" Like they don't know what the hell they're asking for. They don't necessarily like something about what they're seeing, so they say, "Make it pop." Or they, they'll like, "Oh, make it, add some more dynamic stuff to it." And as long as you don't know how to actually describe that, artists are somewhat safe.
Yeah, and I just think being a prompt master and still being an artist, being able to take your art into these layers of things, I think there's going to be a weird shift as AI takes over where it takes over, and then the people who are still creatives are still going to be creatives. Like AI is just going to be another tool in your pocket. It's like just because all these other people become great with the chainsaw doesn't mean you with your axe is any less important because you're the one who still knows how the tree works. Like it's still like there's certain levels to layering or to like making color pop. Like artist people know that. Like artist people know how to make things pleasing to the eyes. And so I do think there's going to be this certain level of things that comes back and balances it out, and technology is just going to be another paintbrush. And I used to have a whole different philosophy on it. Like I used to be one of the people that I was like, fuck the computer. But now I'm just like, I'm sure there were people out there that were like, fuck the tractor.
Well, there's other versions of this too, where it's not, one that I've heard is AI is not going to take your job. An artist that uses AI is going to take your job.
Oh, finally, you guys, we can start the show now. Maxi G's here.
Yay! Welcome back,
Finally. Because, yeah, we really haven't even started talking about anything to do with the topic.
Yeah,
We're still just
nothing.
rambling. So we're glad you are here and you're just on time. You're just in time.
What was the topic again?
There's never one, but I put Chimera on the front, and we did talk about the wolves for a second.
Chimera.
Yeah, we're done with that.
Yeah,
We've moved on.
Yeah, we're done. We checked it off the box. Check. And we talked about dragons and dinosaurs. We did it.
Okay, so obviously they're talking about resurrection in the sense. So if they can bring back extinct species, can they bring back like a loved one?
I mean, yeah,
Like someone that passed.
they've always
Hitler.
been able to do that though, right?
So I mean, conspiracy theorists believe so.
Well, there was a bill, I think Bill Clinton signed some, I'm going to make up a name for it, but it was like the Anti-Cloning Act that said it acknowledged we've got the capability to do this, but it's bad, so we're not going to do it, and no one's allowed to do it. And it's prohibited. I think it was like a prohibition act. There's actually prohibition on cloning, and there's never been a government prohibition program that's worked. So it almost seems that the exact opposite. So the second they made it prohibited, someone was already cloning.
Isn't that what Disney is? And Chaney, you talked about like how Miley Cyrus is like a cloned version of the mother, so she could live through her daughter, or was it
I
you?
don't think so, but
Or
I'm
is it just something
listening
I see?
like this.
Oh, but this is like a whole, like a whole conspiracy that the mother decided to, through Disney, of course, create a clone of herself so she can live her dream through her daughter. So, especially now with the type of song that she created, almost for, it's like the mom wanted Miley Cyrus to sing this song for Billy Ray Cyrus. So I don't know. It's a weird conspiracy that's floating around, but I kind of believe this in a sense. Like some people are just fucking nuts and would do anything to like have some sort of fame, whether it's through them or through their children. And they'll create children just for that purpose, to gain some type of fortune, and condition these children from a very young age, like let's say dressing up your daughter in pageants and little toddlers at beauty pageants and whatever, the sport, gymnast. So I don't know.
Wouldn't your own child actually be more potent than a voodoo doll? Like if you just used it as a voodoo doll?
Yeah. Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Yeah.
You're like, whoosh.
Whoosh.
Lord.
Yeah.
Because that kind of seems like
Lordy
what
low.
a Hollywood parent is sort of doing when you say live like the vicariously living through your kid, or the machismo dad where the kid's got to be a linebacker or whatever. Is that like a form of voodoo doll, just like like a slightly removed version?
This is where I was
I think
thinking
so,
too
in
when
a
you were
way.
talking about like, could you clone a human? And then, in my opinion, like death is more of a place. And so then it makes me think like, what if you are you're the only soul of Thomas and Layla floating around out there. So if I clone Layla and bring her here, she has to leave death. And so in a way, I wonder that with fame, how we know the name Julius Caesar or certain names and people say it forever. Like, do we call an essence of them here that is more of a trap than, it's an honor to be called back here? I don't know.
Well, just to be clear, though, right? Cloning is not science fiction. It's 100% possible, right? Or I
Yeah.
guess that might be a controversial statement because one of the takes is that any attempt at cloning humans have never succeeded, and it only turns into these weird chimera, sort of like homunculi things that die after a certain amount of time. But it seems to me that we've had enough successful clonings of other animals that the only reason there's not human clones is just legal reasons. It's not a technical or like any sort of medical reason. It's just legal.
Well, it's not even at all a conspiracy theory, this part. It's Game of Clones. Colossal's new wolves are cute, but are they dire? But there's the whole thing too with ligers that people talk about, and I'm gonna get all the terminology wrong. Is it your recessive gene? That's like a far back gene, like it's a like small part of like the ingredients of you. But like if you take a tiger and a lion, for them to actually breed, it's almost like both of them have to go back far enough in their ancestry to the time where they were from the same creature. So that would be at a time that was like, let's say, a saber tooth, which was a real huge cat. So that's why ligers are so much bigger than tigers or lions. Like they
Mm.
can come from a huge animal almost, or a smaller animal, and become almost twice the size.
Man,
But they say ligers
do you
can't breed.
can we find two humans and then they would end up having like a Nephilim baby just because far enough back they both came from a Nephilim?
Well, don't you wonder if that's with like the wolf kids sometimes, or you see these like genetic mutations that we think, or maybe we think they're injuries, but even eye color, doesn't it seem like it could go, doesn't it make little sense that we all have different color eyes?
Maybe that's a code.
Or I think they would
Well,
say that
it
is
is
like
a
a
code.
mutation.
I mean, dogs have different colored eyes too, right?
Yeah, 'cause cats, a whole bunch of different animals. But it's just like,
Hmm.
cloning.
For a purpose, obviously.
But you look at
It has to be for everything's for a purpose.
when people talk about Tataria and like all the old flags of Tataria, don't you think any of their flags, don't you think griffins and stuff look like some kind of like, what the hell? I
Pull it up,
am. I'm
pull it
pulling
up.
it up right now. It just makes me think like what was going on in, I don't know, like what was going on in science back then? But doesn't this have,
What the fuck, for real? Like, this is not just an imaginary thing that they just put there, obviously. Or is it more than that? Is it like different parts of animals that make a whole symbol one? Or was it real? Look, why is that tail pointed like that? What animals have that? What is the back hind of his legs, the front of his legs? Then he has wings, and then his beak looks like a what? I don't know. Looks like a horse too, in a sense. Its stature.
There is a slippery slope here, though, of just interpreting all this as literal, because that means that one of us could just draw some random hybrid animal that hasn't existed. And if the world were to end and someone were to find that drawing and it's the only record, then they would they assume that that's literal too, and that that animal existed at some point.
What about like this one? Like, I just always think it's interesting how
The dickhead.
well, this is also the same face and beard we see on Nimrod over and over again. And these are the same wings we see on
Yeah.
Isis over and over again. So it's just curious that all of these different ancient times all kind
Beings.
of yeah. And then if you think of like centaurs and minotaurs and I don't know, all that shit is wild.
Mm-hmm.
All that shit be crazy.
I don't know.
Let me get off the screen.
Sometimes with the cloning topic, I'm just like, are they just throwing that out there just to like keep us distracted and make us think that these stars or whatever Hollywood elites are doing this so we can be distracted by something else that they're doing?
Yes, I believe that. Absolutely.
Like sometimes I wonder, I'm like, oh, we have technology to do this, we have technology, and I'm just like, y'all trying to say that you can play creator, but I doubt it. I don't know. There's something iffy about it. It would be cool if it's true, but like I want to see it because you can pull a picture of like two lambs and say, "Oh, look, we cloned two lambs," but they all look the same.
There's
Hey,
Abbie, just so you guys know.
hell yeah, baby.
This right now, just so you know, when you see her at her competition, that's tomorrow. Like everybody's like, oh my gosh, you know, whatever. Like Abbie looks competition ready there. This is nothing. Like I feel like what the competition body she's going to be in for the next one is, you know, it's like what she's been training for. So, anyway, she has her
Yeah.
competition tomorrow and she has to get up early, even though she's probably laying in bed trying to sleep, but she's too excited. And so she's listening to this.
Mhm.
And so
Go
if
to
she,
We
sleep,
love you,
Abby. Come
Abby.
yeah, if
on.
you're not going to go to sleep, be real with yourself and at least just come on. You can do it with your phone. Just be real with yourself. You're a grown woman. Just kidding. Be a good influence on yourself.
gonna
Don't
kill
listen
it.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's probably sleeping, honestly, because she said, what did she say? She felt great and she doesn't feel nervous. You know, I'm like, yes, Brittany, bitch it.
Yeah, and it's just
It's Brittany, bitch.
interesting watching somebody go through getting better at anything, like put in the time, watching any of my friends get better at anything they're up to. And as silly as it might seem, like just walking and posing and learning that stuff, like watching her progression over the years, I'm like, oh, like I see improvement, but I would never even know to look for improvement before. Now I feel like I could watch one of these competitions and know a little bit about what I'm talking about. Be like, she
Yeah,
didn't present
especially
well.
everything we learned with
Yeah,
Abby.
we're like, that girl didn't
Mhm.
present well. She needs a posing coach. And you know, like all this stuff. So it's interesting for sure watching.
She's been working so
Yeah,
hard.
working, no pun intended, working her ass on about it. So it's cool. So shout out to Abbie again, and anyone who's worried that you know, she got gordied. Oh shit. Sorry. Sorry.
Wow.
It's not too soon. This is why you're here. Anyways. XOXO Gossip Girl. What else is happening in the world tonight?
Well,
Oh yeah, I know what
I've
I
been
wanted
so out
to
of
show you
the
guys
world.
and ask you about. Let me figure out how to
Please
pause
do.
this. You're like, please get me out of this awkward feeling.
I've been working fucking 11 to 10 to 11-hour shifts, man. It's been crazy.
Does it
Training
make you
for
feel alive?
I hate it. I hate it so much. Anyway,
Okay. So you guys, there was a helicopter crash in New York, but watch what happens to this helicopter. Let me see. Can I make it full?
wasn't someone important on there?
Yes. Like a family.
The
Look at the top
what
of
was
it.
it?
Do you see that? That's the propeller that hit the water.
Crazy. He was a CEO of, I forgot what company, CEO too, of the same company. I forgot how long ago, 9 or 7 years ago. And for some reason,
I think it's
he was
Siemens.
offed, I think. Yeah, the mattress company, Siemens. Seaman.
Yeah, right. Watch the water.
And then what did a building
Mhm.
fall into its own footprint after that happened too?
Wild.
And a weird part is they call that bolt that holds that part, the cross onto the helicopter, the Jesus bolt. I learned that today from somebody who knows about it, and I was like, "What?"
There's no way that's the actual name. That's got to just be
Let
a
me just put
slang
it in
term
and see what
for it.
it says. Jesus bolt helicopter. Because otherwise I'm gonna get pictures of crucifixions, and that'll be a lot. Oh, I did have it slightly wrong. It's Jesus nut. I was trying to be all. I didn't want to think about Jesus's nut. Is an aviation term for the main rotor retaining nut or bolt, the critical component that holds the helicopter's rotor blades to the mast. If this nut fails, the rotor can detach, leading to a catastrophic failure. It's like somebody just took the bolt out of it.
Yep. Or loosened
Look
it
at
up to a point where it's span at a certain,
how often does
and then
that ever
boom.
happen? It's a single point of failure on something. Look at how many points of failure there are in an airplane, and there's a single failure point.
Like the Death Star.
Okay. Mattress companies, and there's this whole conspiracy theory about like, oh, did you ever go to a fucking mattress store? How are they in business? It is a trafficking ring, I believe. 150% I believe that mattress companies are
Sealy.
running
No,
a
not Sealy, sorry.
Sealy's.
Not Sealy.
I forgot what. It's Siemens.
Siemens.
Or
How
Siemens.
awesome would it be
Siemens.
though if this were all just a marketing stunt and right as the helicopter was falling, he jumped out and landed on one of his own mattresses and like saved the day?
Like David Blaine. Oh, here it is. I found it. Phew. Spanish family killed in helicopter crash celebrating a birthday. I found it. I'm pulling it up.
They've got helicopter. They got like I think there were $15 helicopter rides here in Orlando.
Let's see. One of the last photos of the Escobar family. What?
No.
Dude, look at the Escobar family. I'm sure it's a different Escobar. Anyway, let's see. The Escobar family posed for this picture on a Chile helipad. Just before they took off, before the crash.
So he's not.
If this were a real news
Mattress
outlet, they
person?
would have somewhere in here and be like, "P.S. Yes, they are," or "No, they weren't part of the Escobar
Siemens.
family." 'Cause that's all you're thinking about when you read that, right?
He was an executive at a large international company, and also she belonged to a well-known family. Two
Yeah,
members of her
Siemens
family were
was one of the sponsors for Disney's Epcot Spaceship Earth.
Barcelona Football Club. And he spent almost 3 decades working at Siemens. The technology giant, not a mattress firm.
Where did the mattress come from?
I don't know. I don't, I don't know, Layla.
Are we starting misinfo here?
I
Is
thought
this
it was a
Center?
technology, but when she said the mattress thing, she said it with such like, I was like, okay. I didn't know well enough because I'm looking it up with you just from
Right?
hearsay.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's Siemens. It's the technology company
Oh, I thought it was a mattress
out of
company. 'Cause isn't
Berlin.
there a mattress company?
Yeah, they create what they call megacities, which is ones where everything's connected to this super smart grid underneath the entire city.
Mm,
Like 15-minute cities.
sorry. Sorry, guys.
15-minute city on but with all the fixins, right? Like all the extra little things that track where you're stepping and cameras interface with little weights that are under every single tile that you can get around and walk on.
Wait,
Like like if you look at Siemens megacities, they've been in construction for over 20 years now, I think.
I'll put that in here too. Siemens Mega.
It had to do something about stocks, I believe. There was something don't quote me, but this is what I'm remembering from when I seen it.
What the helicopter
about the
falling had
stock
something to do with
market.
stocks?
Something about the stock market and his involvement with I don't know which stock. I have to find the video, but I saw it. It was like quick, and because I was at work and I was just like trying to listen, but like not at the same time, but hearing it.
Was an German electrical engineer, inventor, and industrialist.
Let me find it.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
We had to do a whole deep dive on the origins of Siemens at Disney because they were one of the VIP sponsors, and we had to make this whole interactive walkthrough of Siemens history.
The Siemens family is the name of German noble family of technology and telecommunications industrialists whose members were founded and to the present day the largest shareholders of Siemens AG. The family had a wealth covering of 8 billion that made them the fifth.
Is that all?
Fifth richest family in German, according to Hasselblad. I went over to a new page. Okay, you guys are with me. You never know if you guys make the trip to the right page with me. But that's weird in the world we live in that the family still owns 6.9% of this company solo. Like, it's like 6.9% of the holding still being the biggest holder, not BlackRock, is a wild.
Yeah. I don't know.
And their coat of
I'm trying
arms.
to find that video where I heard all this.
Look at their coat of arms. Look at those.
Are those peacocks at the top? Or is it just a design?
Did you make that jump with me? Let's see. Yes. This is awesome. Wow.
Is that like is that a carrot at the top?
It looks like a carrot.
Or is
and
it
right here.
a representation of
Right? It's a
that
freaking
thing?
carrot.
Yeah, see how the root here?
Carrot.
Mandrake? Or like a mandrake?
Why is it a carrot?
Don't they kind of look like that?
Let's see. Let me go.
The mighty carrot.
Seaman family carrot. Just so you guys know how deep my research is. Seaman. I can't believe how many times I'm saying this. If Abbie was here, she would laugh.
It could be a mandrake too.
What's a mandrake?
A mandrake is like those roots that look like different shapes. Sometimes they even look like human bodies. Sometimes they look like carrot shapes.
Yeah, sometimes it looks like it's any of these
where they're like cuddling
vegetables. They look like two little legs sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They were like the poor man's homunculus.
I'm pulling them back up.
It reminds me of the OA and the human mandrakes with them laying in the field. Remember that scene?
Development, the Goslar family. Christian Seaman, blah, blah, blah. I always look up family crests, though, of these people.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a carrot.
Right? It's
For
a freaking carrot.
Or turnip. The leaves look like carrot leaves to me. That's why.
It's a turnip for what? No, is it? Is that too old now?
No, I fucking thought it was funny. Turn out for no. It's one of those ones that it get funnier if I just need to roll a joint and then I'll think about it later and laugh. I want to know the family crest. Why is this so hard to find? Stop sending me back to the same article. Why is there a carrot on this family crest? Probably because they're all underground.
Those are carrot leaves?
And I want to hear some random explanation about it having roots, because anything that you put in the ground is going to
It's
have
not
freaking
turnip.
roots.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the helicopter was they're never filled with nobodies. And then I thought a killer meme would be maybe Luigi flying the helicopter. But I thought they were a pharmaceutical company, but probably the way like our medicine's becoming technology and they're intertwining. Oh wait, the mega city. When I put it in, I had to go to a different website because I
Is
went
it
right.
secret now? Did they not? Because it used to be their biggest advertisement.
Seaman megacity concept refers to a future urban utopia. Hold on.
Yep, that's it. Future urban utopia. It basically, before the term 15-minute city existed, this is what they were calling them.
So who died last time in that company a few years ago? Like, what's the connection there? Like, why are these CEOs from the same company passing away? Let me find out.
Well, it didn't say this guy was the CEO of Siemens. It said that he was in charge of their rail division.
You guys, this gets weird though. Okay. So the Seaman Mountain region of Ethiopia. Isn't that weird? This
I
seems
think AI is hallucinating a little bit.
Yeah, this seems crazy. Yeah, it's bringing up a lost city of Ethiopia.
What? Seaman?
Seaman Mountain Range region of Ethiopia. Isn't that funny? Just because everything about
I want to see what they look like.
and everything about their Bibles coming up, you know, how their Bibles like they have a different time than us. That's like 6 or 7 years in the past, and how their Bible has like the missing books. Let's see. Seaman Mountain regions of Ethiopia. I'm trying.
Here, I found a link that I'll post for you.
Oh, perfect.
Oh my God, this is weird. When was this? In 2018, one of the Siemens executives and the pilot died in Panama City Beach. That's where I live. How ironic. Mhm. Wild. What was his name? Augustin Escobar? And the helicopter was operated by New York Helicopters. Oh no, it said 2018. Yeah.
This is so Epcot.
It really is. This is the real world version of Epcot, and the whole page is just kind of a bunch of filler words, but it's a laboratory. It's turning a city into an actual laboratory where everything is sort of hybridized, where everything is a little bit digital, and they talk about being able to make tweaks from the outside, and everything gets affected in real time.
I always think this shit is so crazy, especially when we talk about CERN.
Dude, why is my phone saying the same person died in 2018 in Panama City Beach?
Mhm.
I'm not kidding you.
Who?
Maybe f-
Escobar?
Yeah, the same guy. It says the search results indicates that the information about Panama City Beach is oh, I didn't read that part. Incorrect. But I'm like, what the fuck?
you're like, yo.
Too much weed, too much weed. I'm smoking dabs. It's extra, extra.
It is midnight 11 in Layla's time zone, so we're allowed to be. We're
Yeah.
allowed to be a little
Woo-hoo.
cooked,
Mm-hmm.
a little cooked up here. So the helicopter just fell apart in midair, and dire wolves. I know there was something else I wanted to ask.
And there's a plane crash in Florida today too, no? I believe there was. 3 people died in a plane crash.
Who was on the plane?
I don't know. I'm gonna find out right now.
Let me go back to X.
Oh, we see Bernie's in the chat. Shout out Bernie.
Bernie Sanders. Sorry,
Bernie
I'm not on
Sanders, the one
page.
and only.
Bernie Sanders. He's a huge fan of Paranoid American.
I sent him those mittens.
You're the one that sent Bernie his mittens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, that's us.
In Boca Raton.
They were supposed to have
Apparently.
smallpox in them. I don't know what happened.
Oh, I know another. This is tomorrow night. How's your guys' energy? How you feeling? A little
Good.
pink moon action.
Okay, so the people who died were Robert Stark, 81, Stephen Stark, 54, and Brooke Stark. I don't know who they are, but in Boca
I
Raton,
feel like Stark means
apparently.
nothing.
You mean
I
like
don't know.
literally or
don't know who that
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
Oh.
So it's supposed to be a pink moon. I don't know what it means. Maybe someone awesome in our chat that knows about astrology can tell us some great explanation, and I'll pull it up on the screen.
it looks kind of gay.
It looks like it is time for springtime. It looks like a womb.
I think that only happens when the moon is about to rise, right? And then you don't see it anymore past a certain point. Because I missed it. I was trying to look for it, but I was
8:22
working.
tomorrow. Today. Saturday. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. We're telling you
Uh-huh.
ahead of
I
time.
thought it was tonight. I was looking out for it.
So you haven't missed it. It's probably 7:22 for you.
Good.
Oh, I know what else
Alright, cool.
happened. This happened in New Zealand today. And it says a massive meteoroid blows up into a fireball as it approaches New Zealand at what is morning for them. Fireballs like this are brighter than typical meteors, often caused by larger meteoroids that have enough material to get superheated as they come down. So this was on somebody's like night cam. And I'm like, is that a UFO? Is that just a meteoroid? This new word of meteorite that I've never heard meteoroid.
That is wild.
Why is Britney trending in music?
The Brittany?
Why is
Let's
Britney trending?
see.
Period?
Well, it's the anniversary, right? Of Oops, I Did It Again.
14 years ago today, Rihanna and Britney
It is.
released S&M remix. Iconic. Oh, shut up, you guys. So on the
What?
new Black Mirror, the very first episode, the guy is wearing that mask. And I was talking to somebody today about that. It's just so wild that Britney
That is symbolic, honestly, when you think
Yeah, it's
about it.
very Donnie
Her
Darko.
wearing that.
But it's weird that the first Black
Huh.
Mirror came out today and or yesterday, Thursday, the new Black Mirror episodes, and on the first episode, let me see if I can find.
This is the one where the wife has a brain tumor, so they basically upload her to the cloud to save her life. But after that, they have to keep paying these cloud fees, and they keep pushing these upgrades and premium services. Right? This is the one you're talking about?
Yes. And he's how I don't want to give anything away, but I don't want to spoiler alert anyone, but how he's trying to hide his identity and he sits at the
Right. He
computer.
starts doing weird things on the internet.
Yeah, and it's weird that he's wearing I didn't even think about it. This stupid video will probably be the thing that gets me in trouble this week. Why I just sat here and let it play. Dang it all. I was looking for the bunny
Over and
mask.
over and
I know,
over.
dang it.
We're providing comments. This is transformative. I'm sure
Yeah.
the AI will understand.
I know. I think we have to be bigger for that. I think we have to do it this way. I think this is how we have to talk about it if it were to just play video. That looks like what is that, David Icke? Okay, funny. They
Is that
falsely
him?
diagnosed Britney Spears with dementia so they could traffic her. Now this Jeffrey Epstein-linked alleged sex trafficker is using. No, it says ex-Abercrombie and Fitch Mike Jeffries ruled unfit for trial in sex trafficking case due to his dementia. I'm still scrolling through right. Britney's trending. Oh, look at it. Was 25 years ago today at Britney Spears
Yeah,
release.
it's a big anniversary because there's like a new vinyl
Really?
release all about this.
I'm pausing it because I don't want to get us in troubles.
25 years? Man, that feels like forever ago.
Weird
Holy
because
shit.
we said Brittany's gonna post tonight because of Abbie's competition. I didn't know it was a whole big Brittany date. So Lodge 1202 of us.
I didn't know
So
either.
Lodge 1202 of us.
Her recent posts, man, they're not her. Did you see that one of like her face and her teeth?
Let's shout out to
It's
Brittany.
just, that's not her mouth, man. Yeah. Love
Where
it.
is she? Like, where's the real one?
I don't know, but that was not her. That is not her face. That is not her face. That is not her mouth.
Oh, the new one. I know
we're that
exactly what you're
stupid.
talking about now,
Yeah.
Layla. I apologize.
It is not her.
I was totally. Oh my gosh,
It's
Brittany,
not
did she post or that's a date? Is that just 45 minutes ago? Look at this is so for Abbie, you guys. Sorry, I have to because I said that this is gonna happen. Look at booty, Brittany, 45 minutes ago. Brittany with her booty
That
on.
is for Abbie.
Oh, that's Layla. Let's go to Brittany's page. This one.
That's
What?
not her.
Why would they even do that to
Nope.
us?
That's not her.
What is happening there?
That is wild.
It doesn't even look
wild.
real though. This looks like a crazy filter.
this is called that crazy teeth filter. That is not her mouth. I don't even know why they put this one up. I don't even think those sunglasses are real.
No, that looks like digitally put there in a way. Like, who is that?
This feels like it's a top secret program, right?
I don't know,
Like, do you
man.
think
It's
this is
just
military?
weird.
Or is this straight
She's
Hollywood?
dead, probably.
Jitney.
It's a production.
I know. It's a whole I think in the same way as like how I think the real Hillary Clinton was arrested on 9/11/2016. I think all royal people have body doubles. And if you're a famous person, like even a Paul McCartney, they've run so many contests on Britney Spears lookalikes, Britney Spears actors, Britney Spears whatever. She could have 10 Hillary Clintons of her own, like in easy body doubles to walk in after she got arrested. And so the thing is once we control the avatar of the thing, it doesn't matter if it's real or not, if we can still use them to do the thing. So it's like Britney's worth more to everybody more alive. Like the Loosh is worth more. So it's like who's controlling the character that used to be known as Britney Spears, but all it is now is Britney Spears social media. Like who's controlling the Britney Spears social media?
But what is it exactly that she's doing? Like, if you look at her page, like, what is it? It's just odd.
Oh my gosh.
It's her just dancing and dancing and
Is she a
dancing.
direwolf?
I
Is
mean,
she a clone? Is it just a series of clones and we're watching they have one just spin on video? It's like multiplicity.
If
Like, what
cloning
do
is
we do with
real,
this
then-
one? It just dances all the time. Let's put that one on Instagram.
this is our generation's
Yeah.
JFK.
Yeah, this is our. I wonder when the CIA
Yeah.
versions. I wonder when we'll get the unredacted truth about Britney. We'll be 80 years old and we'll be like,
Release the Britney Spears files.
yeah, that is something I need in my life. A shirt that says, "When are the Britney Spears files coming out?" Release the Britney Spears files, unredacted. Oh, did you guys hear that Hitler? Did we talk about it? That they found like there's all the proof now that he was in Argentina.
Yeah.
Did we talk about it?
Yeah. I
Surprise.
mean,
So they say, if it's real.
I feel like everyone should have already known part of that. That was where the Vatican rat lines led to. They even found underground tunnels that would have been in the exact spots that he would have been able to get into the country and not have to go through any sort of public port. I mean, it seemed like it was kind of settled science. They also have you heard of the Dignity Colony in Chile, Colonial Dignidad, which is basically where a large majority of all of these Germans escaped to directly out of World War II, to the point where they have a straight up Bavarian village in the middle of Chile with a whole bunch of white kids with blonde hair and blue eyes and everything. It looks like a traditional Bavarian town, but it just happens to be in the middle of Chile.
Like they all,
Mm.
I just think it's so interesting because there's all the talks that we always learned about the Nazis in Antarctica and how they were also not just looking for relics like the Spear of Destiny and the Ark of the Covenant, but they also were all into this alien tech and then going to Antarctica. So then I wish I knew the name of the battle, but that like the reason Admiral Byrd went down to Antarctica for Operation High Jump is because there was actually like a battle and they battled like German UFOs. And so they gave it was like the biggest military operation ever. Oh, like the most at the time, like maybe the most amount of ships and military personnel we'd ever sent away from the country. It wasn't down there for no reason, just to go and look at an ice block. And it feels like in ways Antarctica
So-
feels like the moon, where like, are we allowed to go there? Is somebody like, not so deep?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
find out what it is.
I wish we were allowed to just like go and, you know, be Laura Croft and just fucking go, or Croft, whatever her fucking name is. Just be
Her
an
just hiking through
explorer.
Swiss cheese.
We're not allowed.
Laura
Yeah.
Croft. I don't know her fucking name either.
Do you believe past that snow wall or whatever you want to call it, the barrier, do you believe past a certain point there is some type of greenery going on there, some kind of rich plush land that they talk about, like Admiral Byrd?
Look at who led Operation High Jump to Antarctica in 1946, 1947 is often associated with stories of encountering UFOs. While there's no concrete evidence of a battle with UFOs, some sources attribute Byrd's expeditions to his subsequent claims about a secret passage under the ice to an enemy that could fly from pole to pole.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Imagine if he was just trolling the whole time. He was just
Pole to
planting
pole?
propaganda seeds.
What do they mean, pole to pole?
Like North Pole to South Pole.
What does that
Yeah.
mean? Huh.
But I wonder if he's implying through the tunnel to get there, or if they're traversing above ground, because it said fly, but it doesn't indicate like you could fly through, right?
I'm
You can.
This is so nerdy, but we're going to do this right now. And we're going to see how it turns out. I asked Grok, hey, Grok, tell me 10 Admiral Byrd conspiracies. Because I feel like there's a ton. You can't
I
hear
want to
me?
know which ones it just makes up because those will probably be kind of fun ones.
Okay, let's see. We'll watch it, create them together. Okay, Hollow Earth discovery. So Byrd discovered an interest to Hollow Earth during his 1947 Operation High Jump expedition, encountering a lush green world inside the planet inhabited by an advanced civilization or ancient race. Proponents cite a supposed secret diary published after Byrd's death, claiming he flew into a polar opening and met beings called, look at Layla, Ariani.
I can't see
Oh,
it.
are you not on the same page?
What?
Oh, here.
No, I am,
Oh,
but I can't. Like, I'm
Rink?
blind.
I'll make it bigger for us. Yeah, so
Ariani?
who warned against nuclear weapons. Analysis, there's no verified evidence to such diary written by Byrd. The Hollow Earth theory stems from pseudoscientific works like Hollow Earth 1964 by Raymond Bernard, blah, 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 blah. Let's see what else.
You know,
Not-
Charlton Heston was in a documentary about Hollow Earth. It's called The Mysterious Origins of Man.
Huh. I'll have to look that up. So Operation High Jump, the thing I just told you about, attacked by Nazi. Oh, look at not by Nazi piloted flying saucers based in a secret Antarctic stronghold, forcing a retreat. Conspiracy theorists allege Nazi Germany established a base in Antarctica, New Schwabland, during a 1938-39 expedition, developing advanced UFO-like technology. And some claim Byrd's expedition was a military operation to destroy this base.
If you did have some sort of advanced technology, putting it in Antarctica would actually be really pragmatic because you could use just a natural climate to cool your like all your processors and everything. That's typically what takes so much energy. Say for example, like all the different AI computers and the quantum computers, they have to keep those things pumped with dry ice constantly to keep them as cold as humanly possible. And if you were to just put all your tech base in the coldest part of Earth anyways, it seems like you could probably run things way faster. Like if there is advanced technology, it would make sense to have it in the coldest climate.
Or isn't it true that like once we get to a certain amount subterranean, that the climate kind of is its own climate anyway? Like it becomes its own, like you can control the climate, and the cold is colder, the hot is hot in a cave. And so it feels like if they're underground or it's like an ancient civilization, then once you learned how to work the subterranean, it wouldn't matter what the weather was above.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Didn't they make a movie about that recently? About how these people were living underground? I think because everything above was just toxic. Something happened, and everyone, like after generations, just thought that this is where they lived and forgot that there's a world up there. And then finally, a few people find out, and it's like almost like the allegory of the cave kind of idea they
There's
play
a
on
movie
it.
called City of Ember that
There's-
does that pretty well.
Really? Is it an old movie?
I want to say
Older
early
movie?
2000s. Yeah, City of Ember, and it's about these
Mm.
two kids that find that everyone's been living underground for all this time. It's kind of what you're describing, which is also the premise for was it Snowpiercer, the train that has to keep traveling because if it slows
Going and
down then everyone
going.
freezes. But that's also running on that same premise that they've just always thought that, so they've never thought different, but then it actually stops or it shows the outside there is signs of life so that it doesn't have to keep running over and over again.
I think this is so
Wow.
interesting on the Aryans thing, and I never even thought about it, but Hill Has Eyes, Aryans reminds me of Iranians. And then think of that L roll, how we put the I in the front of it. But what about if that was an L roll, like a tall, an L-ranian instead of Iranian?
Yeah.
And so then it would give the same kind of sound maybe as when you say Illyrian.
Yeah, because Aryan, according to etymology, 1600s as a term, as classical history from Latin, Arianus, Ariana, from Greek, Aria, Aria, named, applied in classical times to the eastern part of ancient Persia and to its inhabitants. Ancient Persians used the name in reference of themselves as like compatriot to the later language noble or good family. That's what it meant, apparently.
It just meant elite. That's all it meant.
Yeah, like a good family elite.
All right, here's
Iranian,
the next one.
Aryan.
Ancient civilization in Antarctica. Bird discovered traces of a lost ancient civilization in Antarctica, including pyramids, ruins, or advanced structures, which government have since covered up. Social media posts and articles, blah, 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 blah. No credible. Yeah, we know there's not going to be any credibility to the government's not going to let us know. Alien contact, extraterrestrials. And I'm really just at the point with the alien thing that if aliens are around, all the aliens are ancient aliens. If there is such a thing as aliens, they've been here for ebbs, and we're probably an experiment.
Now, Aryan also in my language means the golden ones. So that kind of sounds like the elite tied to the Iranian, like the good family or the golden ones, the elite ones. I don't know.
Would Trump be
Aryan.
Aryan?
The Aryan race, the golden race.
The golden
I don't
one,
know.
the elite?
It's not the white race. The elite, the Aryans. Makes sense. Being fed with a golden spoon and having golden toilets, like Donald Trump. Doesn't he have gold toilets in his house, in his crib? Probably gold toilet paper.
What is a
Huh.
North Pole fraud? Like there is no North Pole?
Bird's 1926 North Pole flight was a hoax, and a secret diary revealed he turned back 150 miles short due to an oil leak, later confessing to a cover-up. A diary discovered in 1996 at Ohio State University's Bird Polar Research Center contained navigational notes suggesting Bird didn't reach the North Pole. Some theorists claim that this was suppressed to protect his heroic image. 150 miles short due to an oil leak.
It's
In
nuance, not conspiracy. I like that little subtext.
In today's world, apparently the North Pole doesn't really exist. It just shows a body of water. But old maps show the 4, I guess, planes of Earth that existed around there with a huge mountain in the middle. So who's correct and who's not correct?
I never even saw this one before. The connection to the JFK assassination. Bird's
Holy
discoveries of
shit.
UFOs or hollow Earth secrets were linked to a secret society that orchestrated JFK's assassination to keep them hidden.
Well,
I think
they have a
this
whole
is now the AI making its own conspiracy theories up.
No, it says details.
Well-
Books like Secret Exploits of Admiral Byrd allege a conspiracy involving the Byrd family, Lyndon Johnson,
Is that
and
a real
others
book?
trying polar secrets to political cover-ups.
There's a
And
whole
then-
page on in Grosswell Lockwood on this with JFK, UFOs, Admiral Byrd. It's like a whole page, and the Nazis and the aircrafts. It's like a hidden link, and you find it. It's like a, hey, here's the Easter egg, and you're just like, whoa, am I going to be able to read all this shit? But it's
See, if Disney
fascinating.
was cool, this is what they would be making movies about.
They're
Yeah.
saying this whole thing, the reason it doesn't have legs, Thomas, is because Byrd died in 1957, years before the 1963 assassination. This is why it says it's not real.
Well, but they don't know about his time machine.
Or it just doesn't have anything to do with the fact that JFK might have gotten Admiral Byrd's papers or whatever and still learned the stuff that they're saying.
The
And
truth, yeah.
secret exploits of I'll find this and we'll look it up right now. You little D. You little okay. Bink.
I wonder if RFK Jr. is building his case every day. If like every day he just puts an hour or two into finding out what happened to his dad and his uncle.
Ooh, look at this is a whole book. And it's the guy who wrote it. His last name's Hanks.
I wonder if he's tied to the Hanks family.
Let's see. I'm going to pull up this and replace it with this one.
Secret Exploits of Admiral Richard E. Byrd. The Hollow Earth, question mark, Nazi occultism, question mark, secret societies, and JFK assassination.
I wonder.
That is a title, or that is a cover. So that sounds like something that maybe we'll have to do a show on. We'll have to read that book.
Yeah, we also have to
That is
pull
one
up
of the
that page
longest
too,
titles.
because it shows you everything on that link.
On what one? The Ingersoll?
Ingersoll Lock. Yeah.
Let's
me
look at
find it.
Ingersoll today.
Ingersoll
IngersollLockwood.com.
Is Ingersoll Lockwood like a news site? Do they post something new every day?
No, not every day. Just once in a while. Let me find it. Ingersoll Lockwood.
It feels like a new iteration of Q.
It's been around probably like at the same time as Q, or that's
find
where I've been bringing up this post everywhere. Hold on. Oh shit. Let me see. What are you looking up, Layla?
Where the hidden link is for this information, because they hid the link and I forgot where the link is. But it's a whole freaking page of just all of this, whatever we're talking about, like UFOs, Nazis, the whole project and everything else, Project Fishbowl, Paperclip, all of them. But I just got to find the link.
I'll go back to
don't remember where
Ingersoll
it
Lockwood
was.
in a second, but I think this is always so interesting. Have you ever seen Ingersoll Lockwood's 1880s Barron Trump omnibus reference before 2017? And can anyone find any other reference about it earlier than 2017? Or is at the same time that the Mandela effects, quote unquote, started to happen? That's the same time all this stuff got kind of put on our timeline because our internet's so watery.
I don't
I feel
know.
like someone could. Of course, you could find a reference to it before 2017. Aren't there
Good luck.
copies of it on archive.org that predate 2017?
I don't know. I don't know. You should. It's definitely a rabbit hole. Anyone out there who can actually find some kind of thing that doesn't just online that doesn't just say it's an old book.
I don't like how they tie the last president with Donald Trump, because it really doesn't mention him in that book. It does mention Pence as, I believe, vice president or some kind of title like that. And they do mention a hotel, but it's not Trump Tower, but it's on the same avenue. So people are like linking the
Avenue.
two. Yeah, they're just linking the two characters because Trump is actually named in the Marvelous Underground Adventures of Baron Trump. So they're tying the two characters together and saying, oh, they're talking about Donald Trump and this is a time traveler and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. Is it time travel? Is it just fantasy? The book is very fucking fascinating. I enjoyed it very much. It took me into another world, which I love, like Harry Potter books. But yeah.
You know, for real, I'm not kidding when I say this. And I really think Thomas and I could do it amazing. I have to see like whatever way. This is what I've realized I'm good at. If Thomas showed, but we could each pick a different world. I really think AI, we could release the Marvelous Underground Adventures into an AI movie. And I think it's perfect. It's like the perfect medium to do it on. And I really think it could be exciting if it turned out well. We'll do the next book. We'll do The Last President. Because I think we could get enough hits on it that maybe it pays for itself on YouTube.
Yeah. And I want to read the other book because I haven't read it yet. The other one.
Yeah, I'm just putting this idea out there. So if you run with it, you run with it. And if you're sitting on your yacht one day, make sure you buy paranoidamerican.com.
I did honestly, I did find The Last President boring. It was
I
like,
found the Marvelous Underground Adventures a little boring, a little repetitive. So, in my opinion, there's parts about that book that I could keep so true to the book, but speed up that I don't have to read the repetitive words over and over again because I'll just be looking at a world that looks like that thing. And so there is a lot of the words. I feel like you could take it out and shrink it down and make it pretty tight.
He needs to be
Yeah.
saying like Riz and Skibbity all the time.
No, but you know how they describe the world and they're like, and everybody had like, they have this cadence that it's almost like a poem where they have to explain everything in the exact same way they explain the last thing. I think that you can do it visually a little more.
Yeah.
I think it's a great book though for children. If you were reading it to kids, it seems like the perfect bedtime story. It was just weird for my brain trying to take in the information of it. Like, I'm like, okay, you said it. You said it already.
It's like an Alice in Wonderland, but written by a guy that's not trying to bang his niece or whatever that happened.
Can I show you guys my nerdy video that I worked on? It's for my buddy Dustin and for his podcast that I've been helping produce. But I just think I did a good job. Like I was like, I think this would make Thomas proud. Like I think I've learned a lot. And if you knew Dustin, it fucking looks like Dustin. Like it is. So here, I'll show you. It's short. So humor me, you guys. It's 15 seconds long.
Whoa. Legends lit. Boss man's the cash kingpin. Matrix in my grip, I'm the wealth within. Drills my hustle, token stack to win. Elites get played.
See, it's really
That's
short,
dope.
but it seems like Thomas knows that takes a little longer to make than you think a short video like that would, and how much goes on the cutting room floor to make it cohesive. But as the videos have gone on, I've started to like, oh, like something switched in my brain today because I'm working on another one for Ian, and something clicked in my brain today that I was like, it's comic storyboards. Like, oh my gosh. Like if in the second I saw it that way, it made like my process is getting that much smoother. That, okay, take the extra time, write it on paper first, how you want it to go. And then I can cross off the things as I actually visually make them. And then I put them together in the order of my storyboard. It's like, oh, having it written is changing my life. So I can't make
That's
Tokyo
honestly the
Dance for us.
secret is you just think of everything in snapshots instead of trying to describe it as like a movie script where, you know, guy walks through door, explosion happens. That's not really how this works. You have to describe a static photo that someone takes, and things aren't moving in photos. You know, you're describing a freeze frame, like a moment in time, and you create all those individual scenes and like images from them, and then you go on and put it into the video creators, and then that's where you describe what's actually moving, what's happening. But it's like these two very distinct steps, which is, yeah, it's exactly like doing storyboards or for a comic book.
It changed. It's like, oh, and like I can't wait to make us. I want to make our intro and like stuff, but I also want all of us to have parts in it. And doing the girls, it's like I got for like a week. I was just doing maybe 9 days, just doing like 2 female videos. And I was inspired thinking of Layla and Abbie. Like, how would I do them for my girls? They have to, because you can't hit this uncanny valley with women the same way you can with men. Like if you give men the characters right, like the right beard, the right sunglasses, the right thing, it's enough them. Whereas if you change a woman's nuance a little bit, it looks like a different woman. And it's like a weird dance. I'm going to show you one more, you guys, and then I might have already sent it to Layla this week, but here's one of the other ones I've worked on.
Man, I'm on the block, dodging death freeze. Fed snitch, quick traded souls for tech. Probes in the ends, leave her brother wrecked. Parliaments are fast, listen next, get checked. Beat me up, fam, I'm the cosmic threat. Sources overhead, dropping green slime.
That's so dope.
Thanks.
I love that.
Okay, I'll show you the last one since we're
That
here
is so
anyway.
dope. Yeah.
So,
Dope as fuck.
thank you. Those are the ones I've been working on.
It's awesome.
Heck yeah, Chaney.
I
Yeah.
gave Dona a crash course this week or last week, and he's already been killing it. He already put together like 2 or 3 music videos and 2 and 3 intros, and he's talking about wanting to do a movie or like a long format series too. It's awesome to see people realize how easy it is to do some of these things, and really, it's if you just got good ideas, there's no excuse to stop between like the idea and making something out of it.
And this is really what I'm learning. Like even something like, let's say, the Marvelous Underground Adventures of Baron Trump. If we were to take that on, let's say, I think we could do it in a half-hour little short. Okay. If we were to take that on, it is a team that has to do it. Like I will tell you, I have worked on those 3
Yes.
videos. If I told you how many,
Can y'all teach me?
yeah, like that's a work week. Like I worked a work week on those 3 videos that are just so short. And I do think my process would be faster. And if I were working on something bigger, I would be able to create more in just the thing I'm doing at the time. But I think there's a real, if you get a team that like once they get, like we're saying, the comic script down, we get the pictures down as a team, then we can the pictures that we take as our source pictures, that's how we can take and compartmentalize it. Like I've figured this out, that it's like something everyone kind of wants to do alone, but if you do it right, it has to be in a good team that all kind of can see it in the same way. But that's every movie. So like the production of it, every cartoon or everything little. But I like it too that everyone's kind of like using the new I mean, I was the number one person with my heels in the sand about it, and now I feel like, okay, I see you. I see you.
Well, I did my Mind Games series, which I think they're all on Patreon now. I had 3 episodes so far, and they're 20-minute documentaries, all AI video. So combined, it was over an hour. And for one of those 20-minute segments, I think it came out to somewhere around like 4,000 images rendered, and then about 800 and 900 of those got cherry picked and turned into 5 to 10-second clips. And then it was probably 4 or 5 days straight of just editing all of that stuff together, and none of that counts the time for writing the script, writing all the different prompts to go with the script, doing the voice in 11 Labs, like all the music that you're putting behind all of that. But the cool thing is that with a team you can do it faster and you can do bigger things, but you don't need the first time in
You don't have to have
history,
a team.
you don't
Yeah.
need a team.
Like taking on a music video alone, or like you do not need a team, or you wouldn't need a team for one whole movie. One person could sit down and do a whole like movie by themselves. You do not need another person at all. Thomas is totally right. I just think like, because usually everybody's different, better. Like when you look at, if everyone were to take the same idea and what they come back with, everyone has a different filter that running it through them makes it that much better, where they're like, this part's slow, this part needs movement. And now there's new AI apps, Thomas, that you can take one picture and now you can direct the camera around the subject. And that part, I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes it a whole.
Will y'all teach me, please?
I totally will.
Like, I'm so down to learn
Well, for the
this.
project, you're going to have to learn how.
Yeah, I would love to learn how, and I don't want to. Because thing is, I'm changing things now in my lifestyle because this is too much for me. I can't do it. I don't want to
Are
do
you
I
it.
tried
gonna
to.
quit
So-
or what? What's going on?
No, not yet. Not yet. I'm waiting to get the new one and just fucking like adios, bitches. Like, yeah. So I'm working things out, either McGuire's or my old place, because they're like, hey,
Who's going to be the
you wanna come back?
47th
'Cause-
thumbs up on who's going to be the 47th thumbs up? And shout out to the 150 people that are watching us. If you're watching us on Rumble or X or either of the YouTube channels, big up your blood clot self. Sorry, Layla, go on. Your
Uh,
restaurant with the name that starts with an N. M.
oh,
McGuire's.
Nilly's.
Millie's.
Yeah, my sister does that. I just do the recipes. Like I have my prep day where I prep everything for the week. And I'm thinking about either maybe going back to my old place because they want me back and I could probably like ask for more. And yeah, I think I'm gonna consider doing that because this place I can't do it. Can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah,
It's not bartending. I'm a bartender. This is not bartending. It's not it. And I feel bad for the people who spend money there for the quality of what we give. $70,000 a year to become a member for that place. And I'm just like, and this is what you're serving them? Okay.
It was like Bohemian Grove.
You know, it's a beach club. It's a very supposedly high end beach club. I mean, their hotels and experiences are really good, but the drinks, it's not bartending.
Well, I fully understand because I was like, I have some free time. It'll be good for my mental to be back out with the humans again. I'll just pick up a couple serving shifts a week. It'll be nice for me. And I think I'll be really good with the people because I really don't care about the money or tips right now. Like I'm just really in a place of being out and with them. And then I was like, I don't give a fuck about your meal. Like, I don't care about I genuinely like people, but it was like the things they talk about or complain about, and then coworkers, I'm like, gosh, you guys aren't the same people I left. Like the people that used to work next
Yeah.
to me I felt like we hustled and bustled together. You guys seem like you're like sitting in the server station smoking vape pens. Like, what's happening? Playing on their phones.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just felt like get off your I don't know. I'm not meant to be in.
I don't like the environment.
Yeah, it's just very
That's
strange.
for me. I didn't like the environment. I don't like it. I don't like the clicks. I don't like the shit talking. I don't like the drama. I like just doing my job, having a good time, smiling, just not stressed out. And honestly, I think I know what I need to do. So just to have a normal lifestyle, not kill myself.
It's important to sometimes just like be able to pay your bills and then also not kill yourself with your I don't know.
Yeah, like at the end of your shift, you're like crying. You're like, oh my God, you can't walk or move. And I'm like, I'm dying. I can't do it.
This does sound like Bohemian
Not
Grove.
sitting. Yeah, like not sitting for like 11 hours. That's crazy. And running around? Hell no. Not at my age. Maybe for the kids, not me.
My dogs are burnt. I'm like,
You
I only
know
wanted
how
to
Haley.
be here a couple hours a week. I didn't want to be here like 40 hours. I'm like, I don't want another
Yeah.
family. Like, I don't want you guys to even really know so much about me. I don't want to know so much about you. I just want to be able to come in, wait on these people, clock out. Like, I don't want any of the extra drama. I just want to be invisible here. But anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, that was a short-lived little jaunt in my life.
In and out.
But I will say I'm grateful to the way everything always seems to work out and how it's just all of a sudden I am so busy and I have so much like side work that if I had this restaurant job right now, I would be missing out on money. And so I'm like, I'm appreciative of the world that I'm like, okay, like I wasn't going back to a restaurant for money at all. And it's weird how I got my free time back doing and now the problem that I'm realizing in the world in general with myself is the easier you make something look, the more you tend to discount its value. And right in the middle of that Venn diagram is imposter syndrome for me. And so I've never been a good negotiator for myself. And so I have to go to my like serving brain of like, how much an hour would you wait for tables? Like, what would you leave a restaurant that you're like, what are you guys making tips average? I ain't doing that. Like, I have a certain amount that you have to make hourly or because, I've worked salary marketing, but never just doing jobs. And then I had a lawn company, but that seems like a different charge, or is it? And so I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just like super interesting to myself that at my age, I'm still like a really bad negotiator. I've never been good at it. I'm just like, Layla,
Same.
whatever you want to do for me, I'll
Okay.
just end up doing it for free because we'll be friends by the end of it. And then I'll feel bad taking your money. I'm awful when it comes to cash.
That's where I'm like, how much do I ask them for? I'm like,
I need a manager sometimes.
13, 14 an hour. My sister's like, no, ask for 17. I'm like, ooh, but I am worth that much. Like, why is that hard for me to ask for
I
that?
say usually
And it
double
shouldn't
or
be.
triple because you never know. I mean, if they laugh, and then you can always come back down. But
Uh-huh.
you can never start low and then be like, oh, I meant double that. It never works that way. You have to start out high.
Yeah.
I know. I'm so crazy. And then I hear sometimes like other friends of mine that whatever they're doing for their skill set and with their crazy amount they make a year, charge an hour for the thing they do. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. It's sometimes funny. I have some friends that this is a kind of interesting that make so much hourly that it's hard for them to cook for themselves because they're like, this meal cost me $1,500. I might as well just go out and eat 5-star every single night of my life because they make so much that their time is so different of a value that now they're like disassociated. Like, I'll never clean my house because if I were to clean it and it took me 3 hours, that would be $1,500. I'll just hire a maid.
The other version of that too, like working up to it, is when you go out and you have like a nice dinner or a lunch and you're like, okay, this was 3 to 4 hours of my time to pay this off, versus sometimes you go out and have like a nice meal and like, oh, that was like a 10-minute meal. Like I could just work for 10 minutes and make that back.
Hey, Chaney, when is the law in Florida changing to 50 minimum wage by the end of 2025?
God, hopefully by like 1998.
Right? I think it's the end of 2025. They signed that into law.
I
And they
just
said
wrote
every
it like
year
I
it's
was
supposed to go up.
just in time for $10 eggs.
I thought.
Yeah.
Am I thinking
Okay,
wrong?
here. I'm pulling it up for you right this sec. Boom. It will increase to 14 on September 30th, 2025, and then to 15 on September 30th, 2026. For tipped employees, the direct wage is $9.98 per hour, with tips expected to supplement their earnings. Bink.
I was watching this video on the origins of propaganda in the US and how a lot of it started for the commercial market. Like it moved out of the military and went into just regular old consumerism sometime right after World War II, and that there was a very specific point in time in which everyone had so much money and that jobs started to make so much more goods that people were even able to consume, not because they didn't have the money for it, but just because they were busy at working and they didn't have time to consume stuff. So they were at a crossroads, and the options, if you were to simplify them, one of them was that to reduce the amount of hours and give everyone pay increase so that they had more leisure time and more money to go out and actually spend and stir up other markets and stir the economy that way. But collectively, again, oversimplifying, collectively they decided, no, what we need to do is replace that leisure time with more work. In fact, because they were afraid that if you gave the working class more time off and more money for doing it, it would ultimately hurt the work ethic overall, and that was to be avoided at all costs. So instead, they double down. They say you have to work even more and make even less in order to fill that same exact gap in a completely different way.
Yeah, but work more and then not buy. And
the other one
I
too, this
hate
one
the
blew my
system,
mind,
man.
was that the whole American dream and that 1950 where everyone's got this nice car in the driveway, that was for poor people. That only poor people in middle to lower class neighborhoods didn't have a big enough garage to store their cars, so that the car companies knew that they were going to have to park it outside in the driveway. So now they start making all these cars that look like they're more expensive than they actually are because it's free advertising. They know that these poor people don't have anywhere to put their car, just to leave it outside the front of the house. And now all of a sudden they're competing with each other because someone just got a new car. No, I got to get a new car. It's fascinating to see how a lot of this stuff kind of gets planted just to keep everyone busy. It's just busy work.
Busy work. And I know, and you're almost like wondering, why don't they want you to stop?
Because I think
Yeah.
then the game's up. And once you realize that it's all been a game, it would be harder to go back to it. So it's way easier to make it so that you're more and more invested as time goes on and not less invested.
We say retard around here. I just want you to know. You can artard if you want, though. It's a free
Yeah, you can.
country.
We're all slaves, apparently.
I know, that's what it seems like.
Instead of like just being slaves for ourselves, we're slaves to the system. When we can just like do all this shit on our own, but we don't want to because we just want easier lives. Now we have AI and we will have robots and all these other things. So then what? We're just going to be working all the time, or what are we going to be doing? What's the plan? Like for the future? What is it? What do you think it'll look like to you in 20 years from
The
now?
Emirates,
What will life be like?
like the Emirates, except it's going to be in America like that.
I think it's clearly we've been on a kick towards a technocracy for 100 years, probably at least the last 50 for sure, meaning that whoever understands technology the best ends up ruling society. It doesn't mean you got to be good at it. It just means that you understand it more than other people do.
I think if we got paid out in our commodities, all of a sudden, like Kuwait or like Saudi Arabia or the United Emirates, maybe we'd be so wealthy.
Do you think people will be working?
Maybe doing what they want and creating things. And a weird thing is we're such a, like, we consume more than any other society ever has in the history of the planet. So if we have any finances, it behooves every other country on the world, because we're the only ones that are almost MK Ultra'd enough to consume as much as we do. So everyone's going to be falling over themselves trying to sell their product in our country.
Yeah, we are the Amazon
And that is
of the
going to happen.
world.
And well, that's where all of a
Yo,
sudden
we
all
might
those
be the
cheap
next
things
Emirates.
that ruined your flea markets and ruined your Amazon, those boxes from China, that cheap trash, all of a sudden the thing that killed your like all of a sudden it gets more expensive to send that cheap shit into the country for the company, that the company moving to the country and actually spending the same amount of money to do something that's a good product. And if we actually had these rules in our country that they couldn't have certain poisons and certain additives and certain things, then having a factory in your town that did whatever might be a good thing for jobs, and people might be like, oh, I love working at that factory.
I'm super skeptical about all this though, because like,
Never mind, we'll have the robots work at the factory.
well, that's exactly what happened. Because like the GM plant closure, the one that gets attributed not just by Michael Moore, but he's a big part of this, but about how Detroit and Motor City, completely falling into a footprint of itself, 9/11 style. But that GM, they decided to move to Mexico in the 80s and 90s because they could literally go from paying union jobs, I think it was like 15 to 20 an hour, which would have been great, in the 80s and 90s. And they moved it to Mexico specifically because workers there worked for 70 cents an hour. So they were like, it's a no-brainer to go from $15 to $20 an hour to 70 cents an hour. And that the year before they moved, they had already made a record $4 billion in profit. So it wasn't even like they needed to do this. So I mean, I guess it just goes if they were to bring the manufacturing back here, they don't want to make it a good job. They don't want to make it a good paying job. It's still going to be a very low paying job.
So if all the reasons that people are like, oh, we need to have these illegal immigrants in because there's jobs Americans won't do. Could we just hire a robot or build a robot, and now we can have it work 24/7 a day? We don't have to ever turn our factory off. We don't have to worry about it at all. It could just be in there doing this shit. Walking.
Absolutely.
Look at how silly this Joe Biden robot looks. This is why I'm convinced Joe Biden's a robot, by the way. Like, look at how this thing walks.
So what do we end up doing? Us humans,
Creating.
what are we left to
What
do?
about if it's Atlantis, where there's this technological advancement and like everything with AI creation just gets more and more and more and more and faster and faster. And so all the monotonous jobs are just this dildo with his old man shoes on. Look at his shoes.
Mhm.
It is so funny. He has sneakers on. They're like, what are we going to do with him outside? It took guys in factories. I mean, they probably had a boardroom of 20 guys that get paid $1 million a year to try to figure out what they were going to put on its feet. And one of them was probably like, what about if we put shoes on it?
Let's make it more real.
Let's
Okay.
give him some Crocs.
You give it Crocs, and all of a sudden
Honestly, I
your
don't
robot
mind the
just
life.
chills. Like it's not all busy.
Do you guys mind
What? Go ahead.
a life without having to work, just living life? Yeah, you might be under some kind of control, but you don't really have to work now, and you just live life. And I don't know, just live. Do you think that will happen? Just like not worry about working and just travel or make
May-
music or
Maybe yes,
art? Will
minus the
that be a
travel
thing?
part. I think that you're gonna have to give up the luxury of being able to travel, because that's where you're gonna have to spend real money.
Huh. Why?
Well, because I mean, you can probably
Like,
if you
if
had
we're-
your own little grid in the Matrix, and they're like, look, as long as you stay in this little 15-minute city, everything's very convenient, cheap, it won't go out. But if you want to, fly across the country, you want to go to another country, now all of a sudden you don't have that free, living. You don't have a place to stay, and like it's the same thing
Mm.
as if you go to a new town. You're gonna have to stay in a hotel. You got to you're going out to eat everywhere you go and eat, unless you've got like a huge community of people that are willing to take you under the wing. Because I think what's gonna happen is that it'll be free or UBI as long as you stay in your little nook. But if you want to leave your nook, then you're gonna have to play. You're gonna have to be part of like the premium plus plan.
Yeah.
So it's like you're a product of the town, that 15-minute city. You're a product of that, and that's where you belong, and you're part of that city.
Well,
And
again, that
you're not
Black
really
Mirror
meant to leave
episode,
it.
one of the other components was that once you're in the system and your brain's in the cloud, it is almost like those old school Sprint and T-Mobile maps where they would be like, oh, if you're in Florida, then you have to get T-Mobile because here's their coverage and their cell towers. But if you're in the Midwest, you need to get Verizon because look at their coverage. And it was literally like if you just drive 15
Out of
minutes
coverage?
away from your coverage, yeah, your body just shuts down. And it'll kind of be like that, except with your budget. Your budget
no.
just shuts down.
If your budget's bad, Layla,
Oh,
I'll just
no.
be talking to you occasionally, and you'll like be saying like, oh no, and I'll be like, suffer erectile dysfunction. Like because you have to pay to not have commercials on your software. In some ways, I wonder, it's like, was this that jibby jabby? Like they're just telling us like this is that nanotech. This is that nanotech, boo.
I want to be the people in The Giver where they're outside of the barrier and they're in their cottage in the snow. That's where I want to be. I don't want to be in that. I want to be in the
Oh, we are
cottage.
so pulling this up, you guys. I just can't even believe it's real, one. And I keep seeing it and I'm like, is this we have to watch a video of it. It's going to get us in trouble, but I don't. That's just my new thing on YouTube, so deal with it. That made me feel like Heather's the movie. What is the horse robot? This is so crazy to me. Oh wait, I don't want this because that seems to get us in trouble more. And let's start with you guys.
We're troublemakers, obviously. We like trouble.
You know. Oops.
What are we doing?
I'm pulling up a video to show you the
When are we doing it?
now.
No.
So look at this shit, y'all. It's Kawasaki's horse robot. It's like a horse panther.
What?
I don't know if it's real or not.
This is AI, of
Totally.
course. This
It has to be
right?
AI.
Yeah. That's dope if that like were a thing. Just imagine like that being the new car. Like, look, I got a fucking panther or like a fucking dragon. They can make dragons and I have my
Hell
own
yeah.
dragon.
Like, why do we need to clone shit if we could just
That'll be
make
dope.
AI do it?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I want a dragon.
Here's the other thing about this as well. See how this guy's riding this thing? If it ran like that to go fast, if it were a horse, you actually have to be a skilled horseback rider to do that. To hold yourself in saddle like that and have your like so many Americans would not be in shape enough to take around the Kawasaki horse.
Or they might come up with a technology where you could just sit there and all the shock is absorbed and you're just still while
They'll have
know,
the
the thing is just
Kawasaki
doing its thing.
horse do instead
Hydraulic.
of like the original horse. It'll be like the Sea-Doo version. It'll be all fat and clunky with a big huge chair so you can bring your friend on the back. Anyway, so you know
That'll be
that.
dope.
This is going to be the new version of the Rascal,
Hell
right?
yeah.
Like your grandparents go to the the Grand Canyon, and instead of riding rascals, they're riding freaking cyber horses.
That would be so dope.
I know that is kind of what I think too.
Honestly.
Eventually, army slaughter bots. It's just like that Black Mirror episode where those dogs chase them. But why wouldn't they make
so we
those
don't have
dogs
to,
big enough
like,
to ride
keep
on?
these animals slaves. Let the animals be free. Let them go in their habitat. Like leave the real animals alone, and we'll create our own metal versions.
If you
That's all.
wanted to do something for hunting, like the same way Thomas was saying about like cloning it, couldn't you have a big enough robot that mimicked whatever animal on the planet and then had the best, if you wanted to consider yourself the best huntsman in the world, you would just get like a laser tag type gun and go hunt it. And then you could
Nah,
still,
I don't know. I mean, I know enough hunters that just would not. It wouldn't like fill that gap.
it wouldn't just quite be
Yeah,
that
probably.
killing thing. It's like Westworld.
Yeah. It's not there's no satisfaction in it.
I'll give the chat anything else going on this week, anyone, before we skedaddle?
I've just been packing
No,
these
not for
boxes
me.
nonstop. It's going to be my life for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
I like this angle of you,
Nice.
Layla, where you have the halo right over your actual head.
E-
Yeah. It's kind of perfect. If it was just a tiny bit smaller,
Right?
perfect.
I found the perfect like chair level.
Chair height. It might change everything. Let's see what it does. If I
Yeah.
go think. Nope. That's the perfect chair level, Layla. See how it
Yay.
looks? All right. Well, do you have anything going on this week? Anything you want to scream at the people about?
No.
Thomas?
Check out my
Yeah,
page.
here, wait, I'll find
I'm
it.
on a mission. For
Go to
myself.
Godpill Angel, and on X, we'll pull up your actual X page. So if you are following on X, because Layla got in
Yeah.
trubs. So
I'm doing a cleanse, and apparently stuff are coming out of me. If you want to see it, you want to know about the product, let me know, and I'll explain what you need to do. And that's all. If you're interested. But whoa. Whoa.
and there's Layla. You can find her
Oh,
at
whoa.
4740 written out 747. So
4747.
that's Layla. Thomas, you have anything going on this week?
Yeah, I got a new series now. So on Tuesdays at 3:33 p.m. Eastern, Under the Docks is a new show I'm doing with Sean Chris from Kill the Mockingbirds, and we are rewatching a whole bunch of old conspiracy documentaries and doing just kind of quick reviews. We mention the top 5 key points that get brought up. We talk about whether or not they held up. We've done Zeitgeist. We've done Loose Change. We're going to be reviewing Conspiracy of Silence pretty soon. There's a whole bunch that they're in the chamber because there's so many movie reviews and cartoon reviews. I've been doing Occult Disney, but really I'm starting to realize that some of my favorite media I've ever consumed were just conspiracy documentaries. So this is the best thing that I could do to maybe put other people on to some of the more obscure ones out there.
I love it. I think Thomas has fun choice in movies in general. Like he's eclectic and he knows like deep cuts. He knows all the B-sides. So if you don't already, make sure that you check that out everywhere. Thomas is found, and while he's packing boxes, send him good energy so he doesn't get any paper cuts. And if he does get a paper cut, blood sacrifice.
Yeah. We'll just roll a new one out of the closet.
I would feel awful if Thomas accidentally fell and sliced his neck open on a cardboard box tonight. Like, what? Like, and Abbie wins Miss Olympia, and we'd be like, it was because Brittany posted. Because this is the world we're in right now. So anyway, we love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out with our absurdity
hanging.
all the way until past 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Love
And
you.
make sure you turn your computer or TV or earphones down a tad because Juliette Lewis, shout out to Juliette Lewis.
She's coming in hot.
Yeah, she comes in hot. She comes in like a drunk girl from the bar. Okay. Love you guys. Chat soon.
That's
Bye
how we like
bye.
them.
Can you save us, Britney Spears? Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunnilinguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunnilinguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys.
You're still here? It's over.